There we go. So tell me your name, your age, and where you're from.
Okay. Vanessa Diaz. I am 23 years old, and I am coming from Los Angeles.
Cool. Okay, so what was it like growing up in Los Angeles?
You know, I grew up in a small valley city, so everyone knew each other. It was kind of, if you went to the same elementary school, you probably graduated high school with them. Slow pace.
Yeah.
Pretty much LA. You know, you can grow up there, but for me personally, I didn't want to live there after, like, graduating high school.
You're ready.
Yeah, I was ready to move.
Yeah.
And try something different because LA just has this certain, like, quality about it where, I don't know, it's harder to find yourself because you're so molded already by, like, this superficial scene or something like that.
Yeah. No, so many people say that. It's crazy. Where did you go to school? Like, I know where you went, but
like a college.
Yeah.
SF State. Yes.
And then what did you major in?
I majored in zoology.
Okay. So
Bachelor's of Science.
what made you decide to study that?
I kind of knew all along that whatever I wanted to do was going to involve either animals or just some nature and science. I kind of grew up just always having a passion for animals and the study of animals. I knew that if I could dream one dream, it would be like me being on the field, taking data and researching and either behind a camera or, you know, just collecting field work.
Yeah. Okay. So what were some of your thoughts as graduation approached?
Some of my thoughts were I was nervous as hell. You know, I didn't have an internship lined up. When I graduated, I got a volunteership at the Cal Academy, and that kind of just didn't turn out to be exactly what I thought it was going to be. It was kind of, I mean, maybe it was the department that I joined. I was doing a volunteership for the entomology department, which is a category of zoology, but it just didn't work out. I just stopped showing up, and it just wasn't of interest anymore, and I was okay with that.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the only thing I had lined up after graduating. Other than that, it was just, you know, another part of graduating is like, oh shoot, I have my student loans to start paying up and saving up for. So, you know, I wasn't really able to dream up this like search for a job after because I also had to make money.
Yeah.
I also had to prepare for those student loans that I had to pay off soon because my mom was going to help me, but I am practically, you know, I'm supporting myself up here. So that was a burden that I knew I was going to have to hold, but, you know, it wasn't phasing me. I always made it work. I always made school and work out together. But yeah, it was nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
I was scared. I'm sure everyone is.
So what are you doing now? Tell us a little bit about what you decided after graduation.
So after graduation and summer came, you know, I started picking up more shifts at my restaurant. And in July, my manager of the restaurant, she kind of came up to me and she was like, hey, do you by chance have any like interest in doing flower arrangements for the restaurant? Because we just lost our florist because she had a baby, and we kind of need someone because, you know, the restaurant needs some love. And, you know, I guess I always had a green thumb, and I get that for sure from my mom. I grew up with her wanting me to help her in the garden or, planting things. If it wasn't me and my mom in the garden, it was me and my dad playing softball. So I feel like I always kind of had an interest in flowers, whether that was like gardening or flower arranging. But I kind of like surprised myself. Once I said yes to my manager, I was like, holy shit, I think I can kind of do this. So, a few weeks go by and I'm doing these flower arrangements and like I feel like I'm getting better and better and better. And then come later in the year, like by December, I was like, you know what? Why don't I just like see where this goes and work under my own name and get a business title and, get kind of serious about it. And then I woke up the next day and I was like, what the hell am I doing? I just graduated this year and I'm not doing anything related to it. So was it a waste? But then I have these moments of like, I have these moments of like comfort when I think about the next 10 years. And I get comfortable by the fact that like in 10 years, I will be doing something with animals again. But for right now, I just feel like as I'm growing, as a person, I might be more equipped later to do all of that, Like I might have more of myself put together to go research and get back into that. But for right now, I just like, I don't know, there's something so beautiful that like whenever I get to work with my hands and like do all this stuff, I just like always want to keep learning and I want to keep getting better. I don't want to be this cliche type of florist. I kind of I want to be influenced by other florists, but also create my own thing. And so now I have my own business.
And what's the business?
My business is called Unwritten Floral Work and Design. The reason why I named it all that was kind of to summarize everything I've been doing. I haven't had any floral experience. I don't have a certification, quote unquote. I started off in my garage, and so basically everything I've done has been, like, figuratively speaking, unwritten. So nothing's been planned out. I've kind of just been going with my instinct and with what I can produce. So that's unwritten in itself. And then floral work and design, I really wanted to emphasize, like, the amount of hard work it takes to do this. And also I kind of, like, my name is kind of foreshadowing to me personally, because I do want to do floral work that isn't just arranging. Like, I do want to grow my own flowers soon, and I want to produce these floral works of art and also design. So it's a long name, but I really wanted it all together because I want people to know exactly what I'm doing. Like, I'm doing floral work, whether that be gardening one day and, like, cutting my own flowers and using them, or floral designing and creating arrangements for people in restaurants and businesses. Like, yeah.
So cute. I love it.
I'm, like, kind of nervous.
No.
No,
I legit want to do, like, video stuff because these are such good quotes, which I'm going to do. So I probably might be here longer than you think. But,
okay.
So was deciding to open your own business, was it a hard decision?
Yes, it was a really hard decision, mostly because I was scared. I was so scared. Coming from LA and living, almost 400 miles away from family, at this point, like, I really realized how much I needed, like, one of my aunts. She's been helping me the whole way through. Like, I email her any questions, like, about legal business issues. Like, I asked her, like, what are the steps I need to take to achieve this and to have my business certification, which I have right over here, and I'm like, it's my prized possession. And it's funny because, like, I just have such a deeper appreciation for family, whether they're far or near, because, you know, they can live so far away, but they can actually be the one thing that actually gets you through it and to accomplish it. Like, everyone, my support system has been so amazing. So that got me over my fear of, you know, not really knowing what I'm doing, but, you know, with their support, they're just like, do these steps, like, make a checklist, check everything off, and, you know, if it's going to take some time, make sure it's worth it, and take the right steps, and don't skip over anything, because when you skip over something, then you're going to get 2 steps behind. So I was nervous, and I'm also 23, so, and it's funny because social media has just, like, this super big impact on what I'm doing. It does, like, to be completely honest, and that's not saying that social media is, like, driving me, but it is showing me my competitors and my inspirations. So a lot of this is also developing, like, my own aesthetic and my own look, my own image, and how people perceive that is, I don't care. Right now, it's just how I perceive it. This is how I want to come across. Whether you want to follow me or join me or be intrigued, so be it. But, like, I'm not doing this for anyone else. I'm solely doing this for myself. So that's another thing that got me out of bed for months straight, and, like, you know, went to City Hall to go file my business name, or, you know, paying like $90 to get a publication, because you have to do that if you're a new business. You have to get publicized for like 4 weeks straight, and it's expensive, but I just kept daydreaming about the future, and that's it. I just kicked myself in the butt. I was like, you better do this if you want to be serious.
What advice do you have for people who are in a similar situation and or graduating soon?
Advice. Oh, God. Take it slow. There is no rush. For me, what I'm still getting used to is, like, waking up and not having to worry about anything. Like, not having to worry about an assignment that I might have missed, or, like, submitting a graduation application on time. Taking that part slow really kind of, like, rejuvenates your peace of mind, because you spent 4 to 6 years constantly on this, like, okay, am I getting everything I need to get done? And then finally you get up to graduation, you're, like, freaking out because you feel like you might be missing a credit here and there, and, like, could your graduation application get denied? You have to repay for it, which is really expensive too. So getting past that and knowing that you did all that, and then come graduation, it's, like, one of the most liberating feelings I've felt yet. And it's awesome because the people you love are watching you, and they kind of have no idea what you went through, but they do. Now it's harder to graduate just because classes are so full, but just, like, really enjoying conquering those milestones and those steps. Another piece of advice would be, sticking to your gut. Sticking to your gut, because I just had a friend recently that, you know, he graduated with med school, or he graduated with the intent to go to med school. And a few months later, he completely opted out of it. He said he wasn't into it anymore. And he had wasted all this time and energy and health devoted to this med school that seemed so far away. And he realized that, like, what he needed was to focus on him again, because he lost himself through the process. So making sure that you do take that time to find yourself, because you're not gonna be yourself when you're graduated college. You still have so many mistakes to make and opportunities to take and nights to stay out late and meet these people that might, like, you might have this connection with that has another job in mind, you know? Just really, really absorbing those moments is, like, super important.
And last but not least, what's next for Vanessa Diaz? And do you have any words that you live by?
What's next? Right now, just, like, establishing myself and just to get as much experience as possible. I'm still finding my way of work and what I think is beautiful in an arrangement, and there's just so much to learn. So what's next is, like, taking classes and being inspired by those people that I look up to. I'm taking a bouquet making workshop in Utah for my birthday. So I bought that for myself because I was like, you know, I could be doing this and starting this, but if I'm not learning, which I learned from school, like, if you're not learning while you're doing, are you really progressing? And it's key. That's why, like, just because you're done with school doesn't mean you can stop taking a class here and there, or, like, you know, read a book about how to build this or how to build that, or reading a book about psychology or something like that. Like, still involving yourself in education. And for me, my education right now is going to be floral designing classes. So just, like, staying involved and wanting to learn is kind of what I live by. And, like, what's my next step right now is, like, still learning. Another, like, quote or sentence I live by would be, like, just trusting yourself. It's so hard to trust yourself, especially now because you have so many influences and so many people around you, and it's hard to, like, create something and take a step back and be like, does this look okay? Do you think they'll like it? It's really hard. And just going with your gut feeling, because if I didn't go with my gut, I would not be here right now. I would not. And I would definitely not be here also if I didn't have a good support system. So I guess that's another thing too. Like, the more people you have in your life that can help you move forward, you'll go that much farther versus kind of doing it by yourself or having the wrong people in your life. I learned that this year. It's like, if you don't have these parts of life that are, like, driving you and inspiring you, then you can only go so far with that, versus having those special people that, like, help you, drive you here and there to get that done, and, you know, come back and enjoy a glass of wine with you after you've been stressed out for, like, 2 days straight. Yeah.
Cool.
That's